All right, hey everyone, we built a new thing for you. There's almost 1 billion people who are using Meta AI across our apps now, so we made a new standalone Meta AI app for you to check out. Meta AI is designed to be your personal AI. That means, first, it's designed around voice conversations. You open up the app and you can talk to it about whatever you want, from the news to an issue you're dealing with to just anything that you want to learn about. It's also designed to be personalized. We're starting that off really basic with just a little bit of context about your interests, but over time you're going to be able to let Meta AI know a whole lot about you and the...
Mark Zuckerberg just donated $6 billion to charity. Sounds generous, right? Here's what actually happened. 400 children got kicked out of their school overnight. The school closed with zero warning. And Zuckerberg, he redirected that charity money to research that will help him live forever. Oh, and he got a massive tax break for it. This isn't charity. This is the biggest legal scam in America, and it's about to get much worse. 2 months ago, Zuckerberg announced he was shutting down his social programs. No more funding schools, no more helping underprivileged communities. Instead, quote, going all in on AI-powered biology. Translation, I want to live forever, so I'm spending charity money on anti-aging research for rich people. Now here's the part that makes this genius, or evil, depending on how you look at it. The Chan Zuckerberg Initiative isn't technically a charity. It's structured as an LLC. That means Zuckerberg still controls the shares he donated. He can invest them, get returns, make political donations, and he still gets tax deductions. He turned charity into a hedge fund, and taxpayers are subsidizing it. But wait, it gets worse. That school that closed? The primary school in East Palo Alto. 400 kids, most from low-income families, shut down overnight because Zuckerberg changed his mind about what he wanted to fund. The school released a statement saying they closed due to lack of funding. They didn't mention that they were the funding. If that school was actually necessary, the government could have funded it with a fraction of the tax revenue Zuckerberg avoided, and those kids wouldn't be homeless. But here's the thing. Zuckerberg isn't even the worst offender. He's just the most visible. Remember when OpenAI was a non-profit? Quote, dedicated to ensuring artificial intelligence benefits all of humanity. That was the pitch. Charitable donations funded the early research. Tax-deductible donations. Today, OpenAI is preparing for an IPO. They're valued at over $100 billion. And Sam Altman, the CEO, openly talks about creating value for shareholders. So, what happened? Here's the scheme, and it's brilliant. Step 1. Start a nonprofit. Get tax-deductible donations from wealthy people who want to look generous. Step 2. Develop valuable technology using that charity money. Step 3. If the technology fails, claim it was philanthropic research. Keep your tax deductions. Step 4. If the technology succeeds, move it into a for-profit company. The nonprofit still exists on paper, but now it only owns 26%. You control the rest. Step 5. Cash out when the company goes public. This is venture capital disguised as charity. If it wins, investors win. If it fails, taxpayers subsidize the loss. And it's completely legal. Now, technically, donors aren't supposed to benefit from charitable donations, but there are obvious ways around this. License the technology to a separate for-profit entity. Hire all the talent from the nonprofit into your private company. Pay a licensing fee for the IP. Analysts call this the halo acquisition, hiring and licensing out. You never officially acquire the nonprofit, you just strip it for parts and leave the shell behind. And this isn't some theoretical scam, it's already happening. Multiple foundations are following the OpenAI Playbook right now. Zuckerberg's AI biology research? Same structure. Eric Schmidt's telescope projects? Same structure. Michael Dell's education initiatives? Same structure. They're not donating money. They're creating tax-sheltered venture capital funds that might accidentally cure diseases, or might just make them richer. Either way, they win. Here's the scale of this problem. In 1993, households earning under $200,000 a year contributed 77% of all charitable giving in America. Wealthy households over $1 million a year, 10%. By 2019, that completely flipped. Average households now contribute just 33%, the ultra-wealthy, over 40%. Charities have become dependent on a tiny pool of donors, and those donors decide what gets funded and what gets cut. When Zuckerberg changed his priorities, a school closed. When the Walton family funds charter schools, they're simultaneously lobbying to defund public education. When billionaires donate to Harvard's $57 billion endowment, they get their name on a building and a tax break for funding an institution that doesn't need their money. This is wealth redistribution in reverse. Taxpayers subsidize the priorities of billionaires. And the craziest part? Most of these people barely pay taxes anyway. The donations aren't the primary motivation, they're just a bonus. The real game is control, over research, over education, over policy. There's another scheme that makes this even worse: art donations. Here's how it works. Buy a painting for $10,000. Wait a few years, feature that artwork in galleries you support. Have the painting revalued at $5 million. Donate it to your foundation at that inflated value. Congratulations, you just bought a $5 million tax deduction for $10,000 real dollars, and this is completely legal. So where does this go? If the OpenAI model works, if it goes public and makes early donors extraordinarily wealthy, every billionaire in the world is going to copy it. Imagine this: you're a tech billionaire. You want to fund research into life extension, quantum computing, brain-computer interfaces, whatever. Instead of investing your own money and paying capital gains taxes when it succeeds, you donate to a nonprofit, tax deductible. Develop the technology. If it fails, you still get the deduction. If it succeeds, you move it into a for-profit company, license the IP, hire the talent, go public. Your initial donation? Maybe $10 million. Your tax savings? $3 million. Your eventual payout when the company goes public? $5 billion. You just turned a $7 million net investment into $5 billion, and taxpayers subsidized 30% of it. This isn't charity, this is tax arbitrage with a humanitarian marketing campaign, and it's accelerating fast. The most ambitious version of this? Life extension research. If you're a 70-year-old billionaire and you fund research that adds 20 years to your life, what's that worth? Trillions? More? A few million in tax refunds are meaningless compared to that outcome. So they're going all in. Zuckerberg, Bezos, Larry Ellison, Peter Thiel, all of them are funneling charity money into life extension, anti-aging, AI-powered medicine. And if it works, they'll be the only ones who can afford it. If you're watching this and realizing just how deep this goes, hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started exposing how the system really works. There's a lot more coming. So why does this matter? Because we're watching the privatization of scientific progress in real time. Instead of publicly funded research that benefits everyone, we're getting billionaire vanity projects funded by taxpayers' subsidies. Instead of schools and hospitals, we're getting art galleries and life extension labs. Instead of democracy deciding how tax revenue gets spent, we're letting a few dozen people make those decisions for us. And the worst part? All this is legal. The question isn't whether this is a scam. It obviously is. The question is, at what point would it just be easier to pay taxes instead? And the answer, apparently, is never. Because this system is designed to reward people who game it. Zuckerberg isn't the villain here. He's just playing the game better than most. The real problem is that the game exists at all. And until that changes, expect more schools to close, more research to benefit the rich, and more charity that looks a lot like fraud. Because in America, the best way to avoid taxes is not to hide your money, it's to donate it to yourself. If this changed how you think about charity, good. That's the point. Because the next time you hear about a billionaire's generous donation, ask yourself, who actually benefits? And if the answer is the billionaire, it's a scam.